Well, 3 cats in the shot. Kitties sure are cute. Okay, I already looked at this book a bit, but I block quoted from this and benefited greatly from reading this while I was writing the chapter of my book about going to college in this little Arizona town very near here where this happened. Clifton, Morenci. Morenci's a giant copper mining pit now, like an inverted Mayan pyramid, but like the size of a Grand Canyon, basically. I don't know, it's pretty insane. But my dad's mom, when she was 15, was living in Clifton or Morenci. Ran away with a guy from a school dance and got married. Short first marriage. It's been raining. Anyway, this is a crazy story of a giant racist seizure of kids from Hispanic adoptive parents. Ooh. This area is really interesting. Places like this are great examples of the cultic milieu, where when you push the world to the side, it all mixes together in a new periphery and cross-pollinates in wild stories. Oh, this is an address for my friend in Arkansas. I could have used this some time ago. Another friend was traveling through and was wondering if I had any friends in Arkansas. But I can never find this address. This was from one of my best friends my first year in college. That was like an island in my life that year. Just kind of an amazing time. I lived a Richard Linklater movie and a half. Mike, Jamie forwarded me a copy of your essay. I hope you're not upset because I really, really enjoyed reading it. I'm not on any social media, so I decided a handwritten letter would be best. Plus, I still like getting personal notes from you as personal service. I tried to read your essay as objectively as possible, and of course that was difficult because of my personal connection, but I honestly feel like it was so well written that I would have appreciated it with or without that personal connection. Yay! I know you weren't pleased with your college poetry, but I always thought it was great, and clearly you've grown so much as an author. I laughed out loud at times, and my chest constricted from pain at times. I especially like the fun facts, because who doesn't love fun and facts? That was a great friendship. There's so many things that trigger memories of that friendship. Anytime I hear Tom Petty's Wildflowers album, or Southern Accents album, her and her friend Jamie, they were like besties for life. They had this single-wide mobile home that was just, I have so many great memories just hanging out there with people. Alright, I gotta save that somewhere. That was not a current address on that envelope. A strange coincidence with this friend, or maybe it just shows how connected the Mormon church is. After I was in college, I married a woman whose dad's twin sister married Laura's dad. What the heck? We were best friends at college, and then that just happened randomly? Like, seriously, that's crazy. What does that even say? What do I do? What do you do with, like, a coincidence like that? Maybe it does have something to say on the interconnectedness of Mormons in the West, but because it was that world. Anyway, this book does a great job of really painting a picture of this time and place. I thought this was an excellent narrative to read when I was writing about that area. Like, it mentions Santa Teresa, this like Catholic folk saint that emerged not far from there, and how she kind of became a corporate sellout. Crazy. This is interesting history, even if you don't have a family connection to it. And I have a million connections to this area. My kids have even more because their mom's father's side of the family was a Bisbee mining family. Okay, I have to get my kid at 7, so I have 20 minutes maybe. Sweet pea. Hello. Squirrel. Hi. And Prismo, what's up? I'll tell you, something I never thought would have the cultural footprint that it does is the Budweiser What's Up ad. People still do that all the time. I'm like, that's from an ad campaign that's so old. Like, it truly is the bird call of mainstream America. Kept alive by movie parodies and YouTube probably, and just people not updating their slang references. Okay, this book looks awesome. I think I bought this one new because I was like, this book just looks so like beautiful and amazing. How the World Moves. The Odyssey of an American Indian Family by Peter Nabokov. I love like a profile type book, like a real close look at anybody. Interesting. Dang, it's still got the tag on it. Did I buy this new? I think I bought this when I worked at UNM bookstore. It might be one of their tags, I can't tell. But I could put everything on my student account when I was working there, and it was stupid because sometimes I'd be like, oh, that's my whole paycheck. I just spent it on books. I kept seeing all this amazing stuff. And one time we had a big lockdown where we had to stay in there because of a perceived threat for like 10 hours with all the corrugated doors down. I emerged very poor. My whole next check gone because I'd just been browsing. Yeah, I think that's where this is from. Looks good. Maybe I'll read it someday. Seems like I vote this most likely to be read if I'm doing some relevant research at the same time. But also, you know, I swoon for just a nice looking physical object of a book and a nice title. And it's got a subtitle, but look how subtle. I'm really going to fight to not have a subtitle for my book. But I do have an invisible subtitle that helps guide the writing process, and that is A Life in Writing. Because all the chapters are different forms of writing. But I don't want to like have a subtitle on the cover or have it inside or have a subtitle. It's already a long, kind of unwieldy title, Shadows of Clouds on the Mountains. It's a maximalist work to the max. 2 volumes, 60 chapters, almost, more than 3,000 pages. Even the title page with the title on it repeats the title 26 times in different font sizes and layouts for 10 pages. Honestly, on a very truthful avant-garde level, there's something there. Why not spend time with a phrase? Look at a phrase, think about a phrase. I have at least 26 reasons why I use that phrase. Great metaphor for the stories of our lives. Ephemeral, but worthwhile, worth noting. Beautiful, composed of light and dark, etc. A plus Katie. A plus as well. Also an A plus. Yeah, in fact, I think I bought this during that lockdown time, that I think about it. That was a crazy job. Worked with some interesting people. Worked with someone whose mom was like kind of lost to Scientology. Heard a lot of interesting stories from her. Worked with very talented people, interesting people, people with bands, literary things. There was a core group of awesome women that worked at UNM Bookstore. They were so cool. Emily, Lonnie, and Lisa. Everyone, like, just so literary in their different ways. It's got bargain bin all over it, and that makes me mad. Don't put black marks on your books. Come on. Find some better way. Be creative. It's not that reading made you creative. Can you only find solutions that involve damaging things? Charles Bowden is considered like the Western writer's Western writer. He wrote a beautiful eulogy book on Edward Abbey called The Red Caddy that I really, really liked. Checked it out from the library, read it in a couple sittings because they knew each other. But that's the only book of his, as far as I know, that I've read all the way through, so I should check this out sometime. Down by the River. Always meant to read more of him. He used to live in Magdalena, New Mexico, not far from here, where not coincidentally, I don't know, where, by the way, the Marvel movie Thor was filmed. Oh, and parts of The Man Who Fell to Earth. The hotel scenes. There's like a real out-of-the-way hotel. Okay, this looks interesting. Facing East from Indian Country, A Native History of Early America. Hey, this must be like that Apima Remembers, where it's like indigenous accounts of white first contact or early life. This is cool. Books like this can really reorient your thinking. This looks awesome. I will read this sometime. This is so of interest to me. I want to know about this place. I want to know about its true history, and I want to see the broad strokes across deep time. That means understanding all the elements, I think. Mega context really has become a thing for me in my writing. Like, get the biggest picture possible. Why wouldn't you want to know about everybody's perspective, going back as far as you can? Great looking book, too. Oh, I'm going to do a video on the Images of America series in these books. That very short introduction video that I did with those books, that was one of the most successful of the channel. But that Images of America series would be good. I got that one. There's one about the Smokies. I have quite a few about New Mexico. There was one kicking around here about Idaho Falls, too. When did I get rid of that? I don't know. Anyway, these are great series. I wrote a book in this series. Durango. And I grew up in Bayfield, right next to Durango, for more than a year of my life, 5th grade. Imprinted on me. It's where our P.O. box was. It's where we saw movies. I saw The Rocketeer there as a little kid. If you're interested in a place, and if you write about a place, get these books for sure. Another essay that was really helpful to me writing that chapter about that year at college, which turned out book length. That's what my friend was responding to in that letter. Was just one of these called Graham County that I got through an interlibrary loan 3 times. Very useful, tons of specific knowledge. Squirrel agrees. Durango, cool little old mining town in the woods, I guess. Colorado's interesting. Produces strange ones sometimes. When we lived in Bayfield, the P.O. box we had in Durango belonged to a channeler, a mystic before us named Tuella, who was kind of the contactee era. And this book came out, and it was sold in grocery stores all over. And it had a chapter in it on Tuella. Aliens Among Us by Ruth Montgomery. I remember getting it from the Bayfield Library and reading it. Here in this pre-internet books appendix, here's addresses that you can write to. Including Tuella, who had the same P.O. box as Durango. So, as us, we were P.O. Box 2566 after her. Here's a book she wrote. UFOs to assist in the great exodus of human souls off this world. Project World Evacuation. Compiled through Tuella by the Ashtar Command. Yeah, she got some wild letters. My brother Rob always joked about responding to them, and I think he might have once or twice, as if he was her. He was a pretty young guy. Maybe he just joked about it. But there were some far out letters. Very interesting. Weird stuff to read. They didn't fit in any canon. They were all wild. But as a kid, that was kind of a fun, strange thing to have in our lives. That we got letters addressed to Tuella all the time. This is also connected with Tuella. She was an Arcturian. She moved to Salt Lake City after she was in Durango. I found a blog online about her later years. I don't know if it's there anymore, though. Basically, the Arcturians just believed that an imminent apocalypse was happening. And there was at least one group of intelligent beings waiting to usher the best off the planet right before that happens. I'm like, why wait? Oh, this is the weird books section. These videos, I've looked at all these in past videos if you want to go check those out. There's some interesting stuff here. There's great stuff here. Like, say you just bought a new crystal skull and want to know how to properly care for it. What if you're a Mormon teen that got too into Dungeons and Dragons? Here's what I'd like to resuscitate. I don't care how old you'd be. I think he's alive. The granddaddy of us all. Charles Fort was the first to collect the weird biz. Well, Felix Fenton, if you go way back, 1906, and there were others, but Herodotus. But he became just really fascinated with unusual things that couldn't be explained, and what the accumulation of them suggested about existence. Pretty cool. Pretty entertaining. I kind of thought nobody read him or cared about him, but when I was working at the summer camp last summer, my roommate was super into Charles Fort was reading a book. Interestingly, it mentioned something kind of Roswell-like in New Mexico, but it didn't mention Roswell. What's up, squirrel? That's a pretty one. I like that. Squirrel, you are the queen of every rug you sit upon. Okay, I gotta go and like, now. Shoot. Don't drink out of my water. This is my water. No litter box liquors allowed. Mine. Anyway, Durango. Why, there's old Lady Durango herself. She owns the place. Don't make her angry. Mr. Durango. They'll make you go to the shed. The book is written by Frederick B. Wildfang. That's a crazy name. Love it. That's amazing. I got this from a free pile, unbelievably. I was like, well, I gotta get that. Unfortunately, I've already written the chapter that I think I'm going to write about Colorado, but, you know, I'll probably write about Colorado again. I've got another Colorado-based essay I could write sometime. Okay, guess this video is only going to be 16 minutes long, and there will still be more Southwest books to come. You know, again, what does its YouTube channel promise in its description? A glimpse at the world of books through one person's collection. I got a lot of Southwestern stuff. I had that whole shelf of just Glen Canyon Lake Powell books. You know, my interests are my interests. It seems like every different subject sheds viewers for the channel. And I'm like, what can I say? I'm eclectic. There's something worthwhile here for everybody. Science books are strangely popular. My most watched video ever is the one titled Maybe Science Books Could Be Your Friends. And it was just some of those books there. Got shared by the right person or something, maybe. I never see any of that stuff. Well, when you can see this like weekly roundup on YouTube Studio, this app you get, and it's like you were shared by this many people. I'm like, huh, wonder what they said. Do people say things like, I don't even know, this is a weird channel, check it out. Or, I just watched this to monitor his mental health. I'm concerned. Someone needs to. So we looked at 5 Southwestern books today. Hooray, that's plenty. 5 in 16 or 17 minutes. You know? That's a cornucopia of Southwestern books right there. And I found a letter from an old friend I got a few years ago. Very valuable to me. This letter brought me joy to read. I had never sent her this essay, and suddenly I get a letter from someone I never sent the essay to saying she'd read it, and it was great. Southwestern books will definitely need reorganized. I'm gonna look at these soon. Maybe one of them will change your life. Or mine. I read it again. Or it already has. Sadly, my most popular video will probably be one where a missile hits at the end of the video and I just barely have the last wherewithal to post it. Because my country is starting stuff. Quiet it down, you jerks. We don't need global war, idiots. Y'all don't want revolution from a communist socialist perspective, but you want us to go along with incremental reform. Okay then, don't just destroy it all, you society, for your dumb idiot reasons. Is it political to say I don't want World War III and people need to cool it? Do you miss Anodyne? You must. She's so affectionate sometimes. She just comes up and rubs against me. Pet me, pet me, pet me. This kitten. Sweet pea. The anthology case is maxed out. I tried to add one more to it that I found recently. Impossible. Can't be done. A little tiny blocky one could go right here. That's it. I could set something on top. Oh. And have successively smaller ones go up. Well, The booklet section can continue to grow though as I find more booklets. There's quite a few in here already. Prism, I gotta go get Willow. Alright, I gotta go. Remember, if you found a big box of money, send some my way. Thanks for watching. You know. Yeah, if people ever wanted to like PayPal some money and then I'd send you a box of books, I'd totally be down for that. I'd love that. This collection is always breathing. It's like the grains of sand of a beach, always coming and going. It's this new form of it, from down to 3,000 or 4,000 from 11,000, has really made me appreciate it in a different way, seeing it as a ever-breathing collection, you know. I enjoy giving books away, and it's like kind of an immediate point of contact for people, you know. It says to people, oh, I think you're smart too, and I think you'd like this. And I have extras. Why hoard them, you know? Okay, I'm going to be a few minutes late. I gotta go. All right, well, more Southwest books to come, I suppose, for now. And we'll see. I mean, I think it's a good topic. Remember, it's all one big story. I'd listen to people talk about local history books from their region. I know I'd get something from that. Guaranteed. But, all right. Well, talk to y'all later. I gotta go.